What's crack-a-lackin', everyone? I thought today we'd try something a little bit different and new and creepy. I'm talking about creepypastas, yes. Okay, so I've always been a fan of them, and I thought, what better way to keep the creepypasta tradition alive than to keep telling them. Now, I have found some stories that I would be highly surprised you've heard before. These are very specific theme park creepypastas because being an avid theme park lover myself, I figured what better place, what better setting, location to get creeped out other than a place that I frequent often. So, without further ado, are you ready to get creeped out? So am I. Okay, this one's called After Park Close. If you've ever stayed until closing at a theme park, you'll know the feeling. The music lowers, the crowd's thin, team members smile just a little less brightly. The lights do stay on, but somehow the park just seems darker. This story happened to me last October at Universal Orlando Resort. I was not supposed to be there after close. Kelly and I had stayed late for Halloween Horror Nights. She'd gone back to the hotel early. My feet were absolutely wrecked, but I wanted one more walk through the park without the fog machines and the chainsaws. I like seeing the bones of things, the mechanics, the welds. By the time I reached the Central Lagoon, the announcement came over the speakers. Universal Orlando is now closed. Please make your way to the exit. But here's the thing. Nobody rushed me. No one tapped me on my shoulder. The crowd just dissolved. I checked my phone. 10:47 p.m. I was near the entrance to Revenge of the Mummy when I noticed something odd. The queue lights were on. Not just the ambient lighting, that deep orange torch glow inside of the temple. And the entrance doors were open too. But there were no team members inside. Chapter 2, The Empty Queue. I know how this sounds. No, I didn't think it was open. I just assumed they were doing maintenance. I've worked around enough equipment to know rides need late night inspections. But when I stepped inside, there was no maintenance lights, no tool carts, no cones, just the full show lighting. The line wound through the temple corridors exactly as it does during the day. Fake hieroglyphics, carved stone, the massive gold scarab. Only there was no background music, no chatter loop, no ambient ride audio, just the hum of the building and my footsteps. I kept walking. You'd think the emergency exit doors would have been propped open, but they weren't. Everything was exactly as it would be during operation, except no people. At the load station, the train sat still. One train. Restraints up, lap bar open. The control booth was dark, but the station lighting was active. Chapter 3, The Dispatch. I should have left. I should have just walked right back out the way I came. But instead, I stepped into the front row. I'm not sure what I expected. Maybe the ride-op would pop out and laugh at the lost guest. Maybe security would escort me out. I pulled the lap bar down. It locked. That's when I heard the announcement. Not through the speakers, right behind my head. Imhotep thanks you for your devotion. I spun around. No one. Then the train jerked forward. No dispatch audio, no countdown, no green light, just movement. The lift hill chain caught. The darkness swallowed me. Chapter 4. No projection. Normally on that first scene, there's a projection of Imhotep's face. Fire, dialogue, the whole show. This time, nothing. The room was empty. The animatronics were frozen in mid-pose, like mannequins unplugged from reality. But the train kept moving. Up, up, up. Clack, clack, clack. The safety lights along the catwalk were off. The only illumination came from a faint red glow somewhere above me. When we crested the lift hill, there was no dramatic drop into the coaster section, just a slow roll forward. And then I saw them. People standing in the sandpit below. Chapter 5. The figures. They weren't guests. They weren't team members. They were wrong. All wearing Universal staff polos, but outdated ones. Logos from the early 2000s. They stood perfectly still in the show area arena, facing the track, watching me. The train stopped mid-curve. No brake sound, just a hard stop. The red glow intensified. One of the figures tilted its head at an impossible angle. Then, in perfect unison, they all said, "You stayed." The ride speakers crackled on for the first time, but it wasn't the usual soundtrack. It was park music. The generic instrumental loop they play in City Walk after close, except slowed down, warped, like a tape dragged through water. Chapter 6. The backstage door. The restraints popped open. I didn't wait. I climbed out of the train and dropped into the gravel maintenance path. No alarms went off. No sensors triggered. One of the figures stepped forward. The polo shirt logo read, Universal Studios Escape 2004. I recognized it. It was an old marketing campaign. The figure reached toward me, but its arm stretched too far, too long. I ran. There's always a backstage door near the unload area. I've noticed them before. Unmarked gray doors with magnetic locks. This one was cracked open. I slipped through. Chapter 7. The hallway. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Cinder block walls, concrete floor. It looked normal. Too normal. Except the hallway stretched much longer than it should have. I've seen park layouts online. There's no way that corridor could have extended more than 50 feet. I walked and I walked. I passed a door labeled with attraction names. Jaws, Back to the Future, Confrontation. Closed attractions, long gone. I grabbed one handle. It opened. Inside was a fully operational queue for Jaws. Guests stood in line, but they weren't moving. They were all facing the wall, all of them, waiting. Chapter 8. The park announcement system chimed. Universal Orlando Resort will now begin permanent closure. Permanent. The lights flickered. Every door on the hallway burst open. I glimpsed dozens of attractions that didn't exist anymore. Rides I rode as a kid, all running, all empty. Except for the queues. Each one was filled with motionless guests. And then every head turned towards me. Not snapping, not jerking, just a slow, synchronized pivot. Their eyes were black, completely black. Chapter 9, The Exit That Wasn't. I sprinted down the hallway until I saw that glowing green exit sign. I burst through the door. I found myself back in the park. But it wasn't modern Universal. It was older. The globe at the entrance read, Universal Studios, Florida, in that classic 1990 font. There were no digital billboards, no Harry Potter, no Transformers. Just fog drifting across the empty streets. Then I saw the figures again. Hundreds of them now. Guests from every era, holding park maps from different years. They weren't facing me. They were facing the globe and whispering, "Don't leave." Chapter 10, Morning. I woke up on a bench near the lagoon. Sunlight. Oh, I can feel it on my face. I hear the music playing normally. I see team members smiling brightly. My phone read 9:12 a.m. Kelly was texting me, asking where I'd gone. I walked past Revenge of the Mummy on my way out. Normal line, normal guests, normal ride audio echoing from the inside. But as I passed the entrance, I noticed something new. A small plaque mounted beside the doorway. It wasn't there the night before. It read, After closed guests, 1. Below it, in a smaller text, it said, Thank you for staying. I don't stay past park close anymore. And if you ever find a ride queue fully lit after hours with no staff around, don't walk in. Because Universal never really closes. It just keeps the ones who stay too long. What did you think, guys? Pretty spooky. Not too scary, but definitely creepy. If you guys enjoyed listening to this story, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Give it a like, share it. And I'll see you guys next time to get creeped out with Penny.